to the Open Scoring MMA podcast. No secrets, no bias, just the real fight game. Let's get ready.
Welcome to Open Scoring MMA. This is episode 34 for July 23, 2026. Your daily look at what's happening now and next across the world of MMA and UFC. Arman Tsarukyan is reportedly set to headline UFC 331 in Los Angeles. This is huge news for Tsarukyan, who has been on an absolute tear, and it's a fight that the fans have been clamoring for. He's been vocal about wanting 2 belts, and this is the first step towards that ambitious goal. It's a testament to his consistent performances and the way he's dismantled opponents in one of the UFC's most stacked divisions. You got to respect a fighter who calls his shot and then goes out and earns it. This is going to be a banger, no doubt. Speaking of big news, Tom Aspinall has revealed the horrifying reality behind his UFC 321 injury, saying that recovering from multiple eye surgeries was more painful than anything he's ever experienced, including a vasectomy. Quote, "You're just watching them slice your eyeball open," end quote. That's a truly brutal image, and it really puts into perspective the sacrifices these fighters make. We often see the glory in the cage, but rarely the agonizing recovery process for injuries like this. It's a stark reminder of the physical toll this sport takes, and it makes you appreciate Aspinall's toughness even more. We wish him a full and speedy recovery and hope to see him back in the octagon when he's completely healed. And it's not just Aspinall dealing with eye issues. Rose Namajunas, the former 2-time UFC women's strawweight champion, is also searching for purpose and reason in fighting again after suffering an eye injury that required surgery. This injury was a result of eye pokes during her UFC 324 loss to Natalia Silva back in January. She described it as a 3-month process, and it sounds like it's really made her reevaluate things. Eye injuries are no joke, and they can be career-ending. It's understandable that she'd be taking a step back to consider her future. We've seen Thug Rose overcome adversity before, and we're rooting for her to find that fire again, whatever path she chooses. In other news, Islam Makhachev is reportedly leaving no stone unturned in preparation for a welterweight title defense. He's reportedly found a Gary clone for his UFC 330 training camp, roping in fighters with a similar build to Ian Gary. This kind of meticulous preparation is what separates the champions from the contenders. Makhachev is known for his incredible grappling and relentless pressure, but this shows he's also adapting and evolving, preparing for every possible scenario. It's a smart move, and it speaks volumes about his dedication to staying at the top. Nasruddin Imavov is confident about his next opponent, and word is he claims the UFC has promised him the next title shot against Sean Strickland. This is a bold claim, and if it holds true, it sets up a fantastic middleweight clash. Imavov has been steadily climbing the ranks, and a win over Strickland would solidify his position as a top contender. Strickland, on the other hand, is always a tough out and brings that unique, unpredictable energy to every fight. That's a matchup I definitely tune in for. Shifting gears a bit, South Africa's Nkosi Ndebele, the PFL Africa Bantamweight champion, is beginning his road to the PFL World Bantamweight title. Ahead of his Washington, D.C. bout with Brandon Davis, which is reportedly on July 25th, Ndebele believes his destiny is to clinch the vacant belt globally. He told ESPN MMA that the PFL actually canceled the tournament now. He also opened up about his previous situation with Brave, saying, quote, "For many it was a loss, but for me it was a win, specifically in life. Specifically with what I want to achieve and how far I want to go in the sport. I think it was time," end quote. He added, quote, "It was a hectic situation with Brave at that moment. I had calls with the PFL. I knew I wanted to go, but I still had the Brave belt. They couldn't let me go. They didn't want to release me. If I defended the belt, there'd still have been a champions clause that'd have bound me for 3 fights," end quote. It sounds like he navigated a tricky situation to get where he's now, and he's clearly got his sights set on that PFL gold. It's always cool to see fighters from different organizations making their mark on the global stage. Now let's talk about our favorite baddie. Matt Brown praised Paddy Pimblett's UFC 329 moment after his 52-second submission of Benoit Saint Denis, but still questions his title ceiling. And he's not alone. Another ex-fighter also wasn't convinced by Paddy's quick win, despite the impressive finish. Look, I get it. Paddy's a superstar. He's got that undeniable charisma, and he just put on a dominant performance. But the lightweight division is a shark tank, and there are a lot of killers at the top. It's fair to question if he has the full skill set to go all the way, but you can't deny the excitement he brings. Every time Paddy steps into the cage, it's an event, and that 52-second finish was pure fireworks. He's confident he has what it takes, and honestly, who are we to doubt him? He's proven people wrong before, and he's got that special something that makes you want to watch him fight. The baddie is a force, and I, for one, am excited to see how far he can go. In other news, Gable Steveson will return to the wrestling mat following his triumphant debut in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. It's interesting to see him go back to his roots after getting a win in the octagon. He's an Olympic gold medalist, so wrestling is clearly where his heart is, but it'll be curious to see if he continues to dabble in MMA down the line. That kind of elite wrestling background is a huge asset in the cage. And speaking of legends, UFC legend Quentin Rampage Jackson went back into fight mode during a party on Tuesday night, punching a streamer and leaving a room full of people stunned. Rampage hasn't competed in MMA in a while, but it sounds like he still has that competitive fire. You never know what you're going to get with Rampage, and that's part of his charm. He's a true character of the sport. Dana White is still firm on his stance regarding the MMA GOAT debate, again naming Jon Jones and comparing him to Michael Jordan. It's a debate that'll probably never truly be settled, but White has always been a staunch supporter of Jones. When you look at Jones's resume and his dominance, it's hard to argue against him being in that conversation. He's truly one of a kind. Sean O'Malley recently shared his take on whether Conor McGregor will ever fight again, dropping a bold left-hand take. Word is, McGregor was at UFC 329. It's the question on everyone's mind, isn't it? Will we see the notorious one back in the octagon? O'Malley's opinion, like many others, is probably based on what he's seen and heard. McGregor is a massive draw, and if he does decide to return, it'll be huge for the sport. But he's also achieved so much, it's hard to say what his motivation would be. Nora, we've got a lot of interesting calls out this week. Fatima Klein, after her win at UFC Oklahoma City, is calling out Zhang Weili. That's a big jump, isn't it?
It's Duke. Klein had a good win over Tabitha Ricci, but Zhang Weili is a former champion and an absolute beast. It's a bold call, and while I admire the ambition, the model would suggest that's a significant step up in competition.
So you're saying it's a bit of a reach right now? My eye test tells me Klein has potential, but Weili is on another level.
Precisely. The data points to a substantial gap in experience and proven performance at that elite level. However, I'm not saying it's impossible in the future. Fighters evolve quickly.
Fair enough. It's good to see fighters aiming high, though. That's how you get those barn burner fights.
Indeed. Ambition drives the sport forward.
That's all for today's show. Thanks for tuning in to Open Scoring MMA. We'll catch you next time. Before you go, 2 quick things. Check out our free fight tracker at tracker.openscoringmma.com with every upcoming UFC and PFL card, live odds, and where to watch, all in one place. And follow us on YouTube. Just search Open Scoring MMA for breaking news alerts, fight breakdowns, and videos you won't get here on the feed. That's it for today's Open Scoring MMA. Keep your hands up, and we'll see you next time.